I'm not upset that you went.
Why are you surprised?
I'm not upset by your actions. I'm upset by our actions about where we are in this experiment to do this.
But again, it was making break us. It was supposed to break us. The relationship was never strong.
But I think the challenge itself was doing the challenge.
Am I the only one who's questioning why we needed to open the episode with Karina and Paul? There was nothing new. It seems like they just took a clip from before and they just put it there because Karina and Paul refused to film. And it's like, why are we seeing this? They said they were done. Allow us to see them leaving the apartments and going home. We don't need to put up with them any longer. And then Jackie and Adrian, they belong in the same WhatsApp group. They are master manipulators. The way they play their partners and they are allowed to do that by the producers doesn't make sense. Some of the things that they say and do don't make sense. The fact that you had Jackie asking for a random guy's telephone number and telling him, I've only got 10 more days in this process before I can chat with you. I don't get it. The fact that you had Adrian, winking and whatever with that woman doesn't make sense as well. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 35. So you have Karina. Karina is still kicking off because she feels embarrassed. She feels insecure. I don't think she feels insecure. She feels embarrassed. That's it. Because she felt she was better than most people. She felt she was good looking. She was more accomplished, according to what she said about Cleo. So the idea that this man has then gone on a date with somebody else is something that she didn't bargain for. And this is why she feels upset. For Paul is upset that he's got caught. He thought he could get away with going to see her and nothing would happen. But sadly for him, he went, he got caught, and now he has to pay the piper. And his partner is someone who will make him surely pay for that, because at the end of the day, she's never going to forgive him. He was already packing his stuff, and it's like, Paul, are you done with this marriage? I feel Paul was done. I feel Paul actually went to meet this girl as a way of getting out of his marriage. That's the impression that I get. And I don't think he expected it to be spun back on him. I thought he expected to come out as the victim, just the same way he expected to come out of the victim when he told Afina about the comment that Karina made. Sadly, he miscalculated his wife. He didn't know that she would always play the victim card, irregardless of whatever trap he set for her. And in this situation, he is the one who's now looking like the villain, and people are going to turn on him. I have a feeling he expected her to sort of just be understanding and forgiving, and whoever sort of got her riled up with its production, or whoever gave her the wink to sort of kick off, he didn't expect that. So this is where he is. So you have the two couples, Adrian and Afina, and Jamie and Dave. They received the letter to say they are going to participate in a challenge, but they need to separate. And they're both very anxious. Both couples are anxious because they don't know what they're setting themselves up for, and they don't know what's going to happen. Jamie is worried because obviously the last time they were separated, this is the time they came back, and Dave started having feelings about not having a connection with her and not growing in love with her. So she's worried that if they separate again, the same thing might happen. Anyway, Jamie and Dave are the first to receive the letter. They receive a letter to say that, they were matched with more than one person and they have the opportunity to go and meet up with the other person. Dave was straight out. He said, I have a good thing going with Jamie. I always wanted a person. Jamie's everything that I wanted in a partner. So I don't need to meet the other person to see what they're all about. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy. And good for him, because he has been the problematic one in the connection. So had he turned around and gone on a date with somebody else, that would have made Jamie feel very insecure, because she would then question, does he really like me, or is he just doing this so he can stay on TV, or so he can see how far he can go with this. But then Jamie, I was disappointed. I didn't expect her to do that. I didn't expect her to agree to go and meet the other person. Yes, you can see she's going not because she loves this person or she thinks she might fancy another person, but she's going because she's curious, because she kept talking about the fact that, I come from a family where if neighbors are fighting, my dad will tell us to keep quiet so that we can hear what they're saying. So you can see from how she's dressed. She's even said before she left that I'm not dressing up, I'm not looking all cutesy for this person. I am just curious because I never thought they would find me a match. So the idea that they actually found me two people is what is driving me. And for the rest of my life, I'll always be questioning who was the other person. So I need to go so that I can fulfill my curiosity. Do I think it's a good idea? There's two sides to look at it. If she wants to make, Dave jealous and show him that if you're not it, then I'm moving on to the next one. Yes. But also it could backfire on her because Dave could say, I have been working hard to win you and I've shown you that I'm committed to you. And yet you are not doing me the same. You're not affording me the same respect. Why would you feel the need to go and see somebody else if you and I are working and if you're in love with me? So I can see how that would backfire on her. And hopefully she'll be able to explain herself and it doesn't get out of hand. But I don't think it's the same situation with the Paul and Karina situation. Paul was interested in seeing whether there would be a romantic spark with the other person. She seems just curious. She just wants to see who it is. So Adrian and Aina are the next couple to receive the letters. Obviously, they're in separate apartments and they receive the letter, and the smug smile on Adrian's face tells you everything you need to know about his time in the experiment. Adrian is there for a good time. Adrian is there to be on TV. Adrian is there to be a clout chaser, in my opinion. He's there for clout and he wants to get deals or whatever he gets after the show ends. So he's going to do and say anything in order to get that. Because the way he smiled as soon as he got the letter tells you that he's not serious about Aina. And I don't know what else Aina needs in order for her to understand that this man is not serious about her. He agrees to go on the date saying that, oh, it's one more challenge, I have to participate, so yeah, I will go. And it's like, no. If you had an opportunity to prove how serious you were about Aina, this is the opportunity for you to do that. If I were you, I would have stayed loyal. I would have stayed in the apartment and waited for my time to go back to Aina. But the audacity for you to have that smirk on your face, the audacity to say it's another task, it's not another task for you. It's for you to find your next conquest. That's the impression that I get. It tells me you're not serious about Aina. Aina, on her part, she becomes emotional because she realizes that Adrian is definitely going to go and see this person and there's nothing she can do or say that will change that. And it's like, girl, what did you expect? This man is not serious about you. This man is here for a good time. The moment he was upset that he wasn't in the promo, should have told you everything you needed to know, but you decided to turn a blind eye and pretend like everything was okay. So here we are. You have Jackie. Jackie's in her apartment. She's tearful. Her eyes are swollen because, Ryan still hasn't come back to the apartment and she really wants to try and make things work because, this is very challenging for her. She's tried her best. The apartment is lonely. She really wants their marriage to work and she's willing to make the changes that are needed in order for it to work. No, I don't think so. I think she wants him to come back so that she can dump him. That's it. That way she can say he lost her, not the other way around, because at the moment I think it's embarrassing for her to sit there and know that he has abandoned her and has rejected her. Ryan is having his confessional, he knows Jackie's really willing to make the changes. She's very upset about the, everything that's happened and she's hoping to make the changes to win him over. He's trying to sort of process, how do I sort of get myself into that space where I agree to go back? Because at the end of the day, I've decided that enough is enough. So how do I go from saying enough is enough to suddenly saying, okay, I changed my mind? I think before, at the start, he used to be willing to sort of contort himself to what she wanted, but now he's at a point whereby he can't even justify this. And I think his friends must have spoken to him and told him that nothing is worth the hassle of you sort of having to put up with Jackie. And so he's sitting there, he receives the letter and he's sort of questioning, what do? I don't know what to do, because if I go on this date, then Jackie's going to feel some type of way because she's trying to make the marriage work. And if I say yes and she says no, how does that look? That's going to cause a lot of pain. And it's like, buddy, you're not going to cause her pain. You really are not. Because while he's sort of contemplating that and sort of questioning himself and asking himself, what do I do? Jackie's on a date with this big grin on her face. And it's like, Jackie's not serious. She's just there just to be on TV as well. So you have Jamie sitting there patiently waiting for her date. What I like is Jamie didn't dress up. She's still in her jeans and her top and her Vans, as she said. She said she's not going to make any effort for this person. So she sat there, she's waiting for this person and she keeps saying, I'm curious, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. And that's the most important thing to her. Not because she's going to be attracted to him. She still loves Dave, but she's just curious. Anyway, You have Ryan go on a date. So Ryan goes on a date. His date is with Vivienne. She's 30. She's from New South Wales and she is half Greek, half Australian. And she calls herself a bogan. And I love her. I think she would have been amazing for him. I have a feeling that the producers needed a sort of a toxic couple. And this is why they matched Ryan with Jackie. I think had they matched him with Vivienne, yes, there might have been issues, but I think they would have been more successful because she seems very down to earth. She seems very natural and very organic. I think anything would be better than Jackie. So at this point, what I found sad was Ryan kept praising Jackie, oh, she's an amazing person. Yes, we had ups and downs. Yes, she was hypercritical. Yes, she kept sort of trying to sort of tear me apart and build me back up in the image that she expected to be. But still, I think she's a very amazing person. And it's like, I don't get it. She's treated him terribly. And so for him to be speaking very nicely about her, you could see that was a turn on for Vivienne, because I think Vivienne expected him to come and drag her. So for him not to drag her and actually say nice things about her was something she didn't expect, or I as a viewer didn't expect that. So I found that very endearing and very charming, actually. You have Jackie. She goes on a date with Rory. He's 28. He's from New South Wales. He says that, he works part-time as a gym instructor. And so he's got a job. I think he said he's a consultant, I think, or something like that. And so he and Jackie, what do I think? I think he was put off by Jackie. I think he did. I think immediately, the moment she started speaking to him, you could tell he had checked out. Yes, she asked for his number. And I was side-eyeing her because I'm thinking, Jackie, you're crying to Ryan saying you're trying to make your relationship work. Ryan has a date with someone who is amazing and is ignoring that person. It's really sad hearing Ryan hype up Jackie when Jackie is on the other side of town on her date with Rory and she's asking Rory for his number. She says Rory is good looking, Rory is this, but Rory is Ryan on a different font. That's it. He's got a beard. He's got dark hair. She hasn't criticized him for that. She says he's amazing. He looks amazing. They spoke about his job, the fact that he's a gym instructor, and she said she wants someone who works out. That way she can keep fit herself because her health is important to her. And it's like, but you were criticizing Ryan, saying that Ryan doesn't want to have sex with me in the morning because he wants to save himself for the gym. Why not go to the gym with him? And then after the gym, the two of you can come back and have sex. And yet suddenly, this man is amazing. For her to ask for his number and tell him that the experiment ends in 10 days, but I'll send you a text message once I get my phone. I didn't like that. I didn't like that because it shows that Jackie's not serious. As I've said all along, Jackie wants to be the one to reject Ryan. It's not that she really likes him romantically. She wants to be the one who rejects him. And so she's going to put on an act because she knows how to manipulate him to get him to do what she wants. Oh, you have Afina sitting. Afina is very nervous. I think the producers had to beg her to go. I don't think she really wanted to go, but they must have pleaded with her to go because she eventually went on this date. And her date was with Tim. Tim is 35. He's from Queensland. And he really is way different from Adrian. I think maybe it's the level of maturity as well. That could be the reason why, because he seems to have his head screwed on, right? He's 35, Adrian is only 30. They spoke about a lot of things. His job is working with young kids. He comes from a social care background. So he and Afina have that in common because she works in aged care. And so they're both healthcare. Well, it sounds like they've got some healthcare experience. He's asked her about her child. He asked her about his age, about what sports he likes. And Afina was actually saying that this is more than Adrian has asked her in the 6 weeks she's been with Adrian. And this should be answer enough. I have a feeling for Afina, they actually went and chose a nice guy. They didn't bring a jerk. And I don't know why they didn't match her with this man, whether he wasn't ready to be married or whether he was waiting for something. I can't put my money on it because he would have made a better match for her. And Adrian's match would have made a better match for him. So I don't know whether Adrian and Afina were matched for toxicity or whether they were matched because they actually saw a relationship that could go further. Or maybe they wanted Adrian with someone who he could manipulate, because I don't think he would have been able to manipulate his partner that was his second pick. That's the impression that I get. this man was really good. He was willing to move Tim for the right woman. And this reassured Afina, because these are things that Adrian is not asking about. These are things Adrian is reluctant to do. And so it was good that she got the opportunity to experience something else. And she actually said, had I been matched with this man, we would have been very good together. And so it's sad, and I hope she gives him a chance. But I thought there was a rumor that apparently she's dating Billy. Hopefully she's not dating Billy. I think Tim would be better because he's more mature. He works with kids, so he would be able to sort of maybe be willing or open to adopt her son or sort of play a further role in her son's life. Adrian, on his part, went on a date with Maxine. She's 29. She's from New South Wales. It seems like that's where they got the majority of the people outside of Tim. She is very cute as well. Afina is beautiful, don't get me wrong. She is cute. You could see there was an instant spark with Adrian. Whether Adrian was just attracted to her and he thought he could have a good time with her, or whether he saw something long-term, I don't think so. Adrian has got this smirk that he makes that tells you that he's up to no good. I can only imagine how he is when he's around his twin. So they had a conversation, and Adrian was saying, yes, he's looking forward to move to the north. I didn't quite understand where that is. And it's like, but you're refusing to move for Afina, but you're already discussing moving with this girl. Why is it? Do you think she's more attractive? He was asked, do you have anything in common? He said, yes, we have a lot of things in common. I think Adrian in life at this point is not ready to get married to anybody. He's not ready. I think he's ready to have a good time. He's ready to become an influencer, but I don't think he's ready to get married and sort of start a committed relationship with anyone. He was giddy. He was excited. Even after when she was about to leave, the hug and the kiss on the cheek, it's like Adrian was doing a bit too much. And he's got this smirk that he makes that I think production have picked up on. And this is why they sort of ask him certain questions to see his reaction, and then they can see whether he's telling them the truth by his body language or not. I'm sorry, but am I the only person who thinks that the producers set up my girl? They did. Because why would they take Jamie out knowing that the person is not coming? Why would they have her sit there for hours only to come round and say, oh, actually, we've been told that he's not coming. Your match didn't turn up. Why not tell her before she left the apartment? Was it just for a storyline? Were they ever going to let her meet the alternative, or were they just doing it just because they wanted the drama? And for Jamie's curiosity, hopefully this is a learning curve for her, that you don't always need to know everything. You don't always need to see everything, because now she'll have to explain to Dave why she went on that date only to be stood up. She says she's never been stood up by somebody, and this is the first time that, somebody has stood her up. And not only have they stood her up, but they've stood her up on TV for everyone else to see. And it's like, poor thing. I really don't like this. I really am worried for my girl. You have Afina and Adrian meet up after their dates. And so they start discussing their dates. And Afina is saying, though I went for my date, I feel guilty because I shouldn't have gone. I failed the test. And, I don't know why I did it. As she asks Adrian about his date, Adrian tells her that, that he went on his date. And he starts talking about the girl. Well, he's very minimal with his facts. And so Afina is feeling some type of way about Maxine because, she doesn't like the idea that although she went on a date, Adrian also went on a date, even though she knew for a fact that he was going to go on this date. So I'm surprised that she's angry. Adrian says, why are you angry? I'm not bothered by the fact that you went on a date with Tim. That should have been enough information for Afina to know that this relationship is not going anywhere. Yes, I get her being upset that why are you not upset that I went on a date with someone? I think she expected him to be jealous and he doesn't seem bothered. Adrian is there, I'm going to repeat, for a good time and not to learn or to have a permanent relationship with anyone. So the idea that Afina hasn't picked up on this and continues to try to work on a relationship with this man that's not going anywhere doesn't make sense for me. You could tell she was devastated. You could tell she was upset. And he couldn't be bothered either way. As far as he's concerned, he's gone on this date, he's met other women, and he's happy. To Adrian, he says it was just a task, so I did the task and that's it. And we're like, no, we saw how you were flirting with this girl. How can you say you just did the task because it was a task and that's it? Afina is right to say, yes, the goal of the task was for us to not go, and so the two of us failed. Adrian didn't seem bothered. He didn't even seem to grasp the idea that he had failed and he had betrayed his partner, which is really sad for Afina. I wish they wouldn't match single moms with these guys that are not serious, really. You have Jeff and Ree, they're on their date. They're really cutesy. They're happy because they both refused to go on the date. So instead they went on a date as a couple, and they're happy that they've done the experiment together. They're happy that they're in a very good space. And they say that if they had to redo the experiment, they would redo it together. I think maturity plays a part, and emotional intelligence plays a part in how successful they've been, because they've really been focused on one another since they came in. And even though they had the history that they had, they decided to sort of dismantle everything and sort of try and build from scratch. And it somehow seems to have worked for the two of them. So you have Jamie meet up with Dave, and Dave says, he received the letter, he didn't go because he believes they're in a very good space and he doesn't feel the need to see anybody else or meet anybody else in order for him to see whether his relationship is working for him or not. There's a reason why he was matched with Jamie, and that's why he's decided not to go for the date. And then you can see on Jamie's face realizing that, oh crap, I made a mistake, I didn't think about it that way. Jamie reveals that she was stood up, and I like the way Dave received it because he laughed at her. At first he was questioning, and then she told him, you know that I'm very nosy. And I think knowing his partner, he realized that this is who Jamie is. There's nothing else that was going to be said or done that would have stopped her from wanting to know. Maybe he knows from whatever habits she has in the apartment that she's very nosy, and so he just decided to leave it at that. He told her that I am going to continue to tease you though for being stood up, because I have to tease you for a bit, otherwise it's okay. And we also, Jamie, before she even went, she went because she was nosy. She actually said, I'm going because I'm nosy, not because I feel the need to tempt my connection or anything, but it's just because I'm nosy. And so they laughed it off, and they were happy, they were getting, they were fine, and that was good. You have Jackie. Jackie goes to Ryan's apartment because Ryan has called her for a chat. So she goes with 2 glasses and a bottle of wine, and the bottle of wine is already half open, so I don't even know what was the purpose of, of her bringing an old bottle instead of her bringing a new bottle, but that's something else. Anyway, they sit down for a conversation, and Ryan reveals that he went on the date and he needed a new perspective from somebody else about his relationship and the things that have challenged him in his connection with Jackie. Jackie is sort of, well, she doesn't really seem that fazed by it. She then reveals that she went on a date, and Ryan is taken aback that if you wrote stay, why are you going on a date? That makes sense. If she wrote stay and she felt that it was important for her to continue to work on a relationship, why did she feel the need to go on a date with somebody else? That didn't make sense. Jackie brushed over it, and then she pulled out this list. I thought it was patronizing. I thought it was very patronizing, and it was very, I don't know what word to use for it, because she read, I like your structure, you've got very good arms, I missed you in the apartment. And so it's like she's spoken to someone and got someone to sort of help her write this letter because she didn't know what to write, or somebody must have told her what to write as sort of, you want things that are complimentary, things that will make him feel good about himself. And so she decided to focus on the physical appearance and the fact that he wasn't in the apartment. I don't get it. She really didn't want to talk about her date. And it's like, why are you not telling him about your date? You said that guy was good. Why are you not telling him about your date? Even despite Ryan's prodding and whatever, she still refused to discuss her date with Rory. And it's like, Jackie, make it make sense. The producers asked her, why didn't you tell Ryan that you got that guy's number? And she refused. She said, well, he didn't ask me that question. And it's like, Jackie is a master manipulator. Jackie and Adrian went to the same school for manipulation. They deserve to be in the same WhatsApp group because of how they're capable of manipulating people and how they treat their partners. I didn't like it. I think Ryan is very, open to giving her a chance. He's very caring and empathetic and patient with her. Even when she read her letter, and he said most times we've had these letters, it hasn't worked out great, but he was willing to humor her and allow her to read her letter. So I don't like that, she continues to treat him as though he doesn't know what he's doing, or as though he's just a child that she's trying to just keep amused. I didn't like that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 34. Bye guys.